Hello, and welcome to Enfin's installer training presentation for TPO products. Our training objective is to empower you to turn your leads into closed deals through Enfin's TPO smart energy products. This training will take about 20 minutes to complete. Our training format walks you through a storyline with you, the installer, who needs options for a customer's solar project. Then there's us, Enfin's partner advisors, to help you every step of the way. And there's Homer, a homeowner looking to go solar with a TPO system. You will see these characters throughout this presentation. Before we get into our story, here is an overview of the TPO application process. There are 4 main steps: TPO credit application, agreement signing, milestone submissions, and lastly, disbursements. There's a quick reference guide at the bottom of this slide. You will have access to this deck after our training and can use this slide to navigate throughout this presentation. Let's get started. Here is a snapshot of Enfin's dashboard and all projects view in the Partner Portal, our installer-only platform for you to manage your customers through their TPO process. The dashboard displays important pending tasks at the top, such as pending stipulations and action items. Under that, you can navigate through your more current projects based on status or use the All Projects page on the left navigation bar to view all your projects and search for specific ones. The Resources page has helpful information such as a copy of this training slide deck, a sample of Enfin's PPA agreement, and Milestone 2 photo requirements. You can also refer to the Pending Tasks page for a detailed look into the projects that require additional documents or actions to proceed. We will dive deeper into the Partner Portal throughout this training. You have many solar options to provide to your customers, so we want to highlight a few key points about using Enfin. Enfin's mission is to empower our partners to grow by providing affordable options to customers, enabling them to take control of their home energy costs. We are also committed to a streamlined, customer-focused, and technology-enabled experience for both our partners and customers. Additionally, Enfin stands out as the first solar financing institution backed by an industry leader, Qcells, another subsidiary of Hanwha Group, a global Fortune 500 company with over $66 billion in annual revenue. If you need to contact Enfin, here is our general installer-only phone number and email address. You will be assigned a dedicated partner advisor who will give you their extension and email address to provide you with consistent and customized service as your main point of contact at Enfin. Our hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Time and Saturday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Before going through our TPO process, we will review a few important reminders that you need to know. These reminders help protect you, the customer, and Enfin. We will review credit reminders unique to Enfin, and then review some relevant regulations listed on the slide. To begin our storyline, Homer the homeowner is asking if they need to make payments even if they don't save money on their energy costs. The answer is yes, they are expected to make their monthly payments regardless of any expectation related to energy cost savings. A couple other things to keep in mind are that, for privacy purposes, Enfin cannot disclose reasons for credit decline to installers. Homeowners receive an adverse action notice and can call Enfin directly for details. You must share all available products with your customer before submitting a credit application. Co-applicants are equally liable for payment defaults and their credit may also be affected. Credit approvals not associated with an executed agreement expire after 30 days. For signed agreements, Enfin will expire credit approval or cancel a loan if final disbursement doesn't occur within 180 days of the credit pull, but we retain the right to do so within 90 days if needed. And finally, your customers must be fluent in verbal and written English. Our contract is only in English, so by law, you must communicate in English with your customers without any translators. On this slide, we will review ECOA, Reg B, Fair Lending, and UDAAP. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act, or ECOA, mandates consistency, equal treatment, and fairness with customers without discouraging applications for any reason. It is illegal to discriminate based on race, age, sex, marital status, and other items listed on this slide. Additionally, Reg B prohibits creditors from requesting and collecting specific personal information that has no bearing on applicants' ability or willingness to repay. Fair lending requires equal treatment, so all applicants receive equal consideration regardless of race, color, nationality, religion, etc. Lastly, there are 3 types of discrimination prohibited under UDAAP, which stands for unfair, deceptive, and abusive acts or practices. The first is overt discrimination, which occurs when a consumer is openly or actively discriminated against on a prohibited basis factor. The second is disparate treatment, which occurs when members of a prohibited basis group are treated differently than others. And the third is disparate impact, which occurs when a lender's practices or policies seem neutral but have discriminatory effects. Elder abuse includes both intentional acts and failure to act in a situation that causes or creates a risk of harm to someone 60 or older. Please notify Enfin immediately if you see any signs of elder abuse. Some examples of what to be on the lookout for are an applicant not seeming to understand what's going on, an applicant that speaks very little, or someone having difficulty attempting to verify their PII. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, or FCRA, requires you to make sure a customer understands the impact that a credit application may have on their credit score. Supporting this, you cannot sign for or request credit pulls on behalf of your customers. And lastly, applicants and co-applicants must submit their own credit checks to be considered legal consent, so do not allow your applicants to input their co-applicants' information. Here, we will discuss IT security and protecting sensitive customer information. As a reminder, personally identifiable information, abbreviated as PII, is any data that can be used to distinguish a specific individual, such as name, social security number, or date of birth. Enfin takes IT security very seriously, and we expect the same of our installers in order to protect customers' sensitive information. Installers must not do things like access customers' account for anything other than conducting Enfin business, reveal account passwords, circumvent user authentication, or access or store customer PII. The final regulatory slide we will cover before getting into the TPO process is on identity theft prevention. Identity theft is attempted or committed fraud using another person's identifying information without authority to do so. We expect installers to be always alert and aware of potential fraud by looking out for red flags and verifying an applicant's identity prior to submission of a credit application. Some examples of red flags are IDs that look forged or altered, applicants not looking like the photo ID or the physical description on the photo ID, or the information on the ID differing from what a customer says or inputs during the application process. Now we will discuss the steps in the TPO process, starting with our TPO products. For customers who don't want to finance a solar system, we offer our TPO, or third-party owned products. Customers will sign a PPA, or a power purchase agreement, which will go over the description of the solar equipment to be installed, monthly payments, agreement term, warranties, installation schedule, and more. For levelized PPAs, the payment amount will stay the same month to month for the 25-year term. Omnidian is our servicing partner for our TPO products. During onboarding, installers will be required to sign a dealer agreement with Enfin and an agreement with Omnidian. Their team will complete a PVT test for performance verification after PTO is granted to ensure the system is working as expected. Installers must work through any issues that arise in the PVT test and work with Omnidian to resolve all issues. If PVT does not pass and there are issues during this period, Enfin may claw back disbursement funds. The application only takes about 5 minutes to complete. There is a soft credit pull when it is submitted, but it must be understood as consent to a hard credit pull. This may affect their credit score, so please make sure your customer is aware that there will eventually be a hard pull on their credit. On the left is a screenshot of the first half of the TPO application page, which we will break down into several parts over the next few slides. There is a progress bar at the top, starting with the application, followed by a credit decision, and finalized with signing the agreement. Please double-check that the application is filled out with accurate information, especially the homeowner's email and installation address, to ensure a smooth application process. If there are any typos or errors, the homeowner may be required to submit a new application. Continuing on with the application, there is also a section to confirm the installation address. Some of Enfin's main property eligibility requirements are that the house must be permanently affixed to the ground, and if it's a multi-unit dwelling, they must own the roof, have homeowners association approval when needed, and the units must be separately metered. Additionally, rental properties are completely allowed as long as the customer is listed on the property's title. When you create a new credit application from your partner portal, an email and/or text will be sent to the customer so that they have the option of completing and submitting the app on their own device. There are also a few standard disclosures at the bottom for the customer to read before signing. Some applications may go through an identity stipulation if Enfin is not able to validate a customer's information. Both you and the customer will be notified when this happens, and you will both have access to upload documents as proof of identity for Enfin to review. Next, we will discuss the payment options available to our customers. In our storyline, Homer the homeowner is asking you about autopay and having his children make payments on his behalf, and you can assure him that's no problem. His children can call Enfin's servicing team anytime to make payments on his behalf, and customers can save $10 per month if they choose autopay. Please note that credit approval must occur prior to discussing payment options. The screenshot at the bottom of this slide is a preview of what your customers will see when they go to set up autopay. There's an option to connect their bank account via Plaid to make things easier. Otherwise, they can manually enter their bank details. Many of your customers will already know about the ITC, or the investment tax credit, that they might receive by installing solar. As an installer who is not a tax expert, you must not offer tax advice to your customers. However, you should advise that with TPO, the system is owned by Enfin, which makes any tax and renewable energy credits Enfin property as well. Now that your customer has been approved, sorted out potential stipulations, and reviewed their payment options, they can sign their TPO agreement. In our storyline, Homer the homeowner can't wait to go solar and wants to know where to sign. If the customer is credit approved, Enfin sends them a confirmation email right away with a link to select their payment method. They must choose between ACH autopay and non-ACH autopay and provide their bank details if they choose autopay. The last step is then to generate their agreement to sign through DocuSign. If there is a co-applicant, there will be a signing order, meaning the primary applicant needs to sign first before the co-applicant receives an email to sign the agreement. On this slide, we will highlight a few sections of Enfin's TPO agreement, but the full document is available to you through our resources page for reference. Please note that unless otherwise stated, the agreement shows non-discounted rates that don't account for ACH autopay. The header page goes over the total cost of the system, how to file a complaint against the contractor or salesperson, as well as the customer's rescission rights. Other important information on the agreement includes the term, warranties, installation schedule, customers' options if they sell their home and their options at the end of their term, state-specific disclosures, and Enfin's privacy policy. Next, we will review project changes and welcome calls. There are no change orders for TPO projects. If you need to make any edits, cancel the existing app and resubmit with the updated information. Enfin allows for free cancellation up to 7 days after the contract has been signed by all parties. If it has not been over 3 days since the customer signed their agreement, you will be able to cancel it from your portal. Afterwards, please reach out to your designed partner installer for assistance. Once your customer finishes signing their agreement, you can contact Enfin together to complete the welcome call. The purpose of this call is for Enfin to perform identity verification and explain the terms and next steps. The welcome call occurs before installation of the system, and you can either call Enfin with the customer within 2 hours of signing the agreement or advise the customer that Enfin will reach out to the primary applicant within 3 business days of signing. This welcome call is a required step for all new partner installers and will be released after a probationary period at Enfin's discretion. Now that everything is official with a signed agreement, we will review milestone submission. Installers should confirm property ownership before proceeding with an application to ensure a smooth application process. If the customer is not on the title as the current legal owner of the property, they will not be able to move forward with the loan. LLC and nonprofits are not allowed. There is an automated process for title checks, and title verification will not always be required. If a project needs a title check, the project status will change to pending title verification, and both the sales rep and customer are notified via email. You will not be able to proceed with installation until title verification is cleared. To upload your customer's title docs, navigate to projects that are in the pending title verification status, click the pencil icon, and upload docs from the disbursement tab. The customer can upload their title document as well, using the link from their email notification. After the TPO agreement is signed, the next step is to submit photo proof for milestone 2, or install complete. If identity or title verification is requested, installers must upload these docs, and Enfin must approve before the project moves to milestone 2. Please refer to the M2 photo checklist on the resources page for all required photos. Permits and design diagrams will be reviewed by an expert, and Enfin may request additional photos upon review. Additionally, some installers may be subject to enhanced photo validation based on homeowner complaint data, which requires additional photos and customer reach out. After uploading the required photos, enter information and serial numbers for the equipment used for the project. Enfin will then review the photos and push the project to ready for M3 if approved. If not, Enfin will request additional photos from the installer with specific notes on what is needed for approval. For milestone 2, or proof of install complete, you can enjoy the convenience of uploading photos straight from your phone. All you need to do is open this link, fill in the homeowner's information, select the photos you want to upload, enter serial numbers for the equipment, and submit. Once the project has permission to operate, either you or the customer can upload a picture or PDF of the PTO letter issued by the utility company. If Enfin approves, the project moves to the final status, which is M3 completed. Otherwise, it will move back to ready for M3 status, and Enfin will request additional information from the installer with specific notes on why the document was rejected. The final step is Enfin dispersing payment to the installer. After milestones are submitted, Enfin will review them within 1 to 3 business days. Once the disbursement milestone is approved, payments are dispersed within 1 to 2 business days. Please note that if a milestone is rejected, the timeline resets to day 1. In this last part, we will review the options that customers have if they sell their home during their TPO agreement term and their options at the end of the term. Please note that Enfin does not place liens on the home. However, UCC1 and county fixtures are filed, which are paid by Enfin and are public records. If a customer decides to sell their home during their term, they can transfer their PPA to whoever is buying their home, purchase the system after the 5-year anniversary, or prepay the PPA and transfer only the use of the system. For more details regarding these options, customers can call Enfin's support team. At the end of the TPO term, Enfin will remove the system at no cost to the customer. The customer also has the option to upgrade to a new system with the latest solar technology under a new contract, or purchase the system from Enfin for its fair market value. If the customer does not opt out of renewing the agreement, it will renew automatically. This marks the end of our TPO training. Thank you and welcome to Enfin. We look forward to working with you and your team.